The Fort Smith National Historic Site is one of the city's best-known landmarks, but a federal budget proposal could put sites like this in jeopardy. We're looking into what's at stake and why some community members are sounding the alarm. The proposed 2026 federal budget calls for defunding more than 300 National Park Service managed sites, shifting responsibility to the states if they can afford to keep them running. That could impact several sites across northwest Arkansas and the River Valley, including the Buffalo National River, Pea Ridge Military Park, and more. In Fort Smith, local attorney Joey McCutcheon says he's deeply concerned about what could happen to the Fort Smith National Historic Site.
I mean, I don't think that our state government has the finances to foot the bill for the National Historic Site, and it's something worth fighting for.
The site preserves two frontier forts and the federal courtroom once led by Judge Isaac Parker. McCutcheon says its value is too great to lose.
There's things that should be cut in the federal budget, but this isn't one of them.
He raised his concerns at a recent citizens forum and says Fort Smith leaders are already engaged. Fort Smith Mayor George McGill sent a letter to Senator John Bozeman and others urging them to oppose the cuts. In it, he says the site is vital not just as a landmark, but to the city's economy, culture, and connection with tribal nations. Just down the street, Caroline Spear, director of the Fort Smith Museum of History, says the site is deeply tied to the city's identity.
It's very intertwined in the literal history of the city.
She says the loss would be felt far beyond the park gates.
The economic impact is staggering if the historic site wasn't here. But it is also that very personal relationship between us that we work as stewards of this history and as stewards of our buildings and our sites. We work to give that back to the public.
She says the proposal puts a lot at risk, both economically and historically.
Can states sustain that? That's a question. I don't know. It might not be possible. And if it's not possible, then we're losing more than a place. We're losing a piece of history. We're losing economic impact. We're losing tourism dollars.
For now, the proposal is just that, a proposal. But McCutcheon hopes early advocacy could make all the difference.
Speak to local, state, and federal representatives and encourage them to reach out to the people who are in those decision-making circles.
And Spear hopes lawmakers recognize what's at stake.
There are billions of dollars that come in. People want these places here. They want these places to stay.
In Fort Smith, covering news where you live, Morgan Wrigley, 5 News.
We did reach out to 3rd District Congressman Steve Womack. In a statement, the congressman said he greatly appreciates the president's input and that the budget is ultimately just a request. He says he values the Fort Smith National Historic Site, says he's committed to making sure final spending bills reflect the priorities of his district.